Satnam, welcome beautiful beings. Well done for showing up. Lovely to be here with you as always. So today we have a beingness session because, and this isn't a fault of Kundalini yoga, but it's really easy to get caught up in the doing and I'm a broken person and I need to do these practices to fix myself. And I found that it took me 10 years to figure out that I'm not broken, but I'm this eternal being, and how important silence is and just resting in that stillness. And Ramana Maharishi said that all practices are so that we can sit in silence. That's the highest meditation. But also moving away from this Western sense of a meditation is an activity that I start and finish on my mat. And coming into meditation is what we are. It's our natural way of being. And I've been working through a little bit of resistance with some things over the last few days, and I have been microdosing this awareness. And so when some resistance comes up, I'll ask, where is the self that is resisting this? And to begin with, you might feel a personality that's got all these thoughts, feelings, emotions, identity based on normally the pain of the past. So we could call that the ego, or it's not bad, but this conditioned self. But the more that we start peeling away the layers of the mind, and the more we bring our energy body and our digestive system into balance, it's easier to notice that they're just little temporary thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. And the more that we use that shining light of awareness on them without judging them, just observing them, it's much easier to start dissolving them. And I've also found it really helpful to not wait until I'm in the situation where my ego is going to be triggered and to start trying to control the situation just when I'm washing up or when I'm going for a walk. Thinking of that situation and just asking, where is the self? So then when you're in that situation, there's a lot less resistance and it's easier to fall into this truth, Satnam, your highest self. So if you're new and you have a really busy mind or really a lot of heavy emotions, the stillness meditations, the beingness ones, can be quite challenging. I'm thinking, I remembered my first time I tried to sit in stillness, and it was quite traumatic, I have to say. It was a long time ago, and I'd been reading about Buddhism, and I found a local class, and I went, and he gave this lovely talk, and then he just left us in silence. And my mind went berserk. It was like, it was like, you haven't done this, and you've still got to do that. That's really stressful. And do you remember when you did that? That was really embarrassing. Oh, what about this? And by the time it finished, my hands were actually shaking. And so I thought, oh, I'm not very good at meditating. It's just not for me. I knew it was, but I was very grateful when I found Kundalini yoga. And if you're new, you might find these meditations an easier way to access these deep inner states of peace. And so we're recognizing that the mind is like a shark and it's always moving, and that's okay. And using mantra or breath just to help to still the mind, but also all the things that we do quickly bring us into alignment. And if you are serious about self-realization or enlightenment, you need patience to do that. And the more balanced your body is, the easier it is for you to come into these states of bliss. So we're going to be starting, we'll open the space like a Kundalini class with the mantras. If you don't know them, just listen and you'll still receive the benefits. We'll do a couple of little warm-ups because then it will be easier for your mind to just rest, and a breathing exercise, and then we'll go into the stillness. And if you find, if I ever get time to chop up these longer classes into shorter bite-sized ones for people who struggle, or just if you've, I put a timestamp, but just to make it as easy for people as possible, if you come across one of the beingness ones and you're new, use your intuition, but you might find it easier to do a breath or a mantra. So you can do this sat in a chair or sat on your yoga mat, as long as your spine is straight. So you might want to sit on a cushion and support yourself. And if you're sat on the floor and your knees are up by your ears through lack of flexibility, just make yourself really comfortable. Have lots of cushions and pillows under your knees, so you're just floating in clouds, because we want you to be as comfortable and relaxed as possible. If you're sat on a chair, make sure your feet are flat on the earth, dropping your awareness to your navel point, 3 finger widths below the belly button. Inhaling, belly expands. Exhaling, belly comes back and up gently to the spine. Roll your shoulders forwards, up and back. Light neck lock. So pushing the chin back so your spine is straight, but rather than slamming your neck back, feel like you've got hooks underneath your skull, elongating the back of your neck. Hands to prayer pose. Resting, relaxing. Eyes focused at the brow point, the third eye. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to begin. Om Namo Gurudev Namo Om Namo Gurudev Namo Om Namo Gurudev Namo Agare Name, Jugagare Name, Sagare Name, Sri Gurudeva Name. Agare Name, Jugagare Name, Sagare Name, Sri Gurudeva Name. Agare Name, Jugagare Name, Sagare Name, Sri Gurudeva Name. Inhale deeply. And exhale and relax. Let's do SITALI pranayam first. Having your hands in Gya Mudra, index fingertip touching the thumb tip. Your eyes are going to be closed, focused at your third eye. If you're sat on the floor, rest them on your knees. If you're sat on a chair, rest them in your lap. And you're going to stick your tongue out and curl the sides. Inhale through the tongue. Close the mouth and exhale through the nose. Inhaling through the tongue, into the belly. Belly expands on the inhale. Close the mouth, exhale nose. And if you can't curl your tongue, that's completely fine. Just stick your tongue out a little bit more than the edge of your mouth and inhale over the tongue so you still feel that coolness. And just as with all yoga and all meditation and all moments, just make sure you're relaxed, relaxed, relaxed. This is a very potent meditation. Keep going. For if you have a busy mind, if your mind comes up with all kinds of garbage, it's lovely to slow everything down. It's really wonderful if your toxic heat is too high. So we have a good heat that transforms things and digests not just food, but emotions and thought loops. And so this is really lovely and cooling. You've been stressed, you've probably got too much heat in your body if you've been busy. So just calming everything down. And if you or anyone you know is suffering with PMT, PMS, or perimenopause, and those hot flushes, this is really lovely to do. But there's so many things that we can do for ourselves. We don't need to go through this agony. So relaxing a little deeper. Making this the last inhale. Bring the tongue in, hold the breath. Exhale and relax. Inhale deeply and exhale, and holding on to the front of your legs if you're on the floor, otherwise hands resting on your thighs. We'll do some spinal flexes. Inhaling forwards, pushing the shoulders back, lifting up the diaphragm, eyes are closed, focused at the third eye. Exhale, engaging the navel, curving the spine in the opposite direction and bringing the shoulders forwards. So we'll start off slow. Inhale forwards, exhale back. Being aware of your breath. On inhale, it expands. And there's that sense of lightness. And exhale, that softening, and sinking deeper into relaxation. And you can pick up the pace. Inhale deeply up to center. And exhale. Relax. And now making Gya Mudra with your hands. Your upper arms are parallel to the earth. And you're going to inhale, twist left. Exhale, twist right. Inhale left, exhale right. Make sure your elbows aren't going to hit anything. And you can let your head follow your torso. And this one's nice, deep, powerful breaths. Keep that going. So this is really lovely for obviously creating flexibility and mobility in the spine, so we don't become one of those people that sneezes or bends over to do their shoelace and puts their back out. But it's also massaging the internal organs, squeezing out all that fear from the adrenals and kidneys to help you relax deeper into this natural state of stillness. So you're unlocking or discovering new dimensions of inner peace. Inhale deeply up to center, lift up middle band, rectum, sex organ, navel, squeeze. And exhale. Relax the hands down, relax yourself. And let's do some shoulder rolls. So you're inhaling, bring the shoulders forwards, up to the ears, and exhaling when they come back. Inhale forwards, exhale back, eyes focused at the third eye. Really being aware, noticing any tension, any stiffness. The more that we are aware, the more it helps to clear these states of fatigue and disease and stress. And if you think of the two main sayings about the shoulders, they've got the weight of the world on their shoulders. Change direction, so you're inhaling back, exhaling forwards, inhale back, exhale forwards. They've got the weight on the world on their shoulders, they've got a chip on their shoulders. So just cultivating this awareness, even doing something simple like this, doesn't really seem like much. It might feel like a lot if you're sensitive, or you're an empath, or you're an old soul and you've been through a lot. But you just do as much or as little as you can, and then change directions again. Inhale forwards, exhale back, and inhale, shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, relax. We're going to do neck circles next, but if you have whiplash injuries or a bad neck, there's going to be something about you speaking your truth. But for the purpose of this exercise, we're going to do neck circles, but any dodgy necks, you can just inhale left, exhale right. You don't have to turn very far, you can just visualize it. Otherwise, we're doing neck circles, so I start clockwise, dropping your head down, having your mouth slightly open. So we're going round to the right, inhaling when the head comes back, exhaling when the head comes forwards, really slow, really, really slow. Inhaling Sat, exhaling Nam. Sat is this light and truth, your higher self, and Nam is I vibrate that. And change directions. Inhale up to center. Exhale. You can stay sitting for this one, but if you want to stand up and have a shake, please do. So you'll have your feet just slightly wider than hip width apart and your knees are bent, so you're just kind of shaking. Otherwise, we're just sitting. You can shake your hands, bring your shoulders into it, let your spine rock, shake your legs, keep breathing. Shake, shake, shake. Keep shaking, take deep breaths. And relax and just brush your arms off. Brush your legs down and come sitting. There's some strong energy, that's why I'm laughing. The first meditation that we're going to do is called the cleansing meditation, and it has a breath and a mantra, which is very good, especially if you are new to meditating. So this will help to purify your energy channels. Very good for detoxing, for brain fog, anxiety, fatigue, and it also helps to activate digestion, so supporting your elimination. Most people, especially if you are busy with all those thoughts up there, you're a Parnavata, you're eliminating energy that governs all those eliminating organs won't be working properly, and you need that for radiant health. And it's also really wonderful for balancing your mind and your prana, your energy system, so that you can restore peace and clarity and just that feeling of lightness. So you're going to have the mudra, the hand position. You're going to interlace your fingers, but then your ring fingers, so the ones next to your little fingers, they're going to go inside. Hold on. Yeah, so you're interlacing your fingers, and then the ring fingers, they're going to go inside. And then the pads of the ring fingers are touching. So we're interlacing, and then the ring fingers are coming down, and then the pads are touching. So this is just going to be at the heart center, and close the palms together and squeeze firmly, but not creating tension. And your elbows are pressed down at the sides of your ribs, and your eyes are going to be 1/10 open. So they're almost closed, but you're just letting a little bit of light in, but you can't really see objects. And then the breath, you're going to take one inhale and break it up into 4 segments. And normally when we do segmented breath, it's quite fast. But this one's slower. So one breath you can do over a minute, but don't over stress and don't cause yourself stress. You want to be as relaxed as possible. So this is all through the nose. So you can inhale 4 sniffs through the nose, and then exhale 4 sniffs through the nose. And on the inhale, each time that you inhale, you're mentally, not out loud, just mentally vibrating so, 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 so. And then on the exhale, hung, 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 hung. So hung is I am that infiniteness, that awareness, this oneness of being is, so we're saying I am that. And this is a really beautiful way to help you dissolve into that truth, especially before we're going to do one of the stillness, the beingness, non-meditations. And so in Cantonese, because I sometimes like to just nerd out on these things. In Cantonese, it means peaceful and prosperous, or safe and well. But we're more focused on just I am that absolute stillness. So interlace the fingers, ring finger there, squeezing but still relaxed at the heart center, in front of your energetic heart center, eyes 1/10 open. So you're inhaling silently, so, 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 so. Exhale, hung, 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 hung. And you can leave a pause between each one as well, each so and each hung. Inhale. Very good. Keep that going. And just making sure that you're breathing into the belly, so the belly expands on the inhale, not the chest coming up. And it's 4 equal parts. You can really just slow it all down. Making sure you're relaxed. Just scanning, is there anywhere you're holding any tension? Giving yourself permission to relax. and trying to vibrate the mantra. So, really listening to it with your being rather than just thinking it. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Relax the hands. Relax yourself. Take some long, slow, deep breaths. Open and close your fingers. You might want to stretch your legs out in front of you if you're sat on the floor. Have a move around. Get your fidgets out. And now come into any meditative posture. So we're going to do the beingness non-meditation now. So this isn't an activity that begins and finishes, and it might sound like a guided meditation, but it's more a pointing out. And if you're just watching the clip of this meditation and you're new, you might want to start with a breath or a mantra, so it's easier for you to sink into these deeper states of peace and silence and truth. The hand position that I like is having my left hand with the right hand cupped and the pads together, of the thumbs together, and just resting in the lap, but you can do whatever you want. And it's best done with your eyes closed. And just letting your awareness and your breath drop down to your navel point. And just allowing yourself to rest in that silence, as that silence. You might notice a beckoning from the silence. This pull to draw you deeper. Just letting the breath, especially on the exhale, draw you deeper into this stillness. You might notice the more you become aware of this silence, it's almost like it gets loud. It's one of those paradoxes. And just allowing that silence to permeate your being, just soaking through everything. Soaking your bones, your physical mind, all your cells. They're just soaking in this stillness. And if the mind wanders, lovingly bring it back to this silence. If you need to use your breath, that's fine. It doesn't matter if your mind darts off 100 times in this meditation, with no judgment, just love, compassionately bringing it back to the now, to the present. And just noticing with any thoughts or sensations, the silence is always there. You go off on a tangent and then come back. The silence never left. It's just the illusion of you leaving. So with each breath, just allowing yourself to sink deeper into this inherent stillness. You might notice that this stillness has a quality of timelessness. It's eternal. It's always now. And if you feel comfortable, just noticing, are you open to developing a really intimate nature, this stillness? Because we're really just, especially if you're new to these meditations, just dipping our toe in. So are you open to exploring these depths of silence? Listening to your being, resting in being, just noticing the serenity and the vastness of being, that expansiveness. That luminosity, lightness of being. The more you rest in this stillness, there's an unveiling or a revealing of the truth of what you really are. Noticing the quality of this silent awareness, just a silent witness, observing everything, and that where we don't need to change things, the peace that we can feel from that, and the freedom that we can feel. from not needing things or people or events to be a certain way. And when we relinquish that control of the ego and just get out our own way, it really helps the energy of miracles to come through and to feel like, wow, life is really happening for me. And things always turn out in a far better way than my limited mind could ever imagine. And that silent witness, is always there. That's part of the eternal now, your eternal being. Any little thoughts or emotions, they're all arising from the stillness. They are the stillness. And they just dissolve back into stillness. Noticing this stillness as quality of love. Or the vibration of love. And that love shines from the core of your being. As this complete illumination of your being. Illuminating your thoughts, your feelings, your experience. And there's the invitation there for you to rest a little deeper, surrender a little more to that love, that heart-filled, aware presence. It's always there for you. It is you. Just resting. Inhale deeply into the navel and exhale. If you have time, you can carry on resting in the stillness. Otherwise, we're going to bring you back Inhaling into the belly. Exhaling. Inhaling into your feet from the belly, down your legs. And exhale. Inhaling into your Earth Star chakra, below your feet in the earth. Exhale, and again. Exhale, and again. Exhale. Inhaling into the center of the earth. Exhale. Inhale into the center of the earth. Exhale. And keep inhaling and just opening and closing your fingers, making circles with your hands and your feet, stretching, moving your head. If you really want to wake up, you can give your hands a shake and stamp your feet. If you want to carry on chilling, please do. Bring your hands to prayer pose, because it's so quiet. We won't chant Sat Nam. I'll just say it 3 times. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sending love, divine blessings, a round of applause for showing up for yourself, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Sat Nam. Have a glorious day, beautiful beings. Whew.